Welcome back, Sneaker World. Hope you've been washing them damn hands. It's me, Austin, here with Parker.
What up?
How we doing today, Parker? You surviving
Tired.
Corona?
Trying to, man. It's just staying inside all the damn time.
We are 6 feet apart right now, and you better not sneeze.
Are we actually 6 feet? This coffee table's like 4 feet. So you're still in the danger zone, the splatter zone.
Shit.
Did I tell you? I told you about that conversation I had with Cassie about like the magical barriers. Like if you drop food on the ground, like the bacteria is like, wait 5 seconds before we get
Yeah,
the food.
no, that's the rule.
And then now the doctors are like, all right, 3 feet, and I'm like, well, it's not like the germs will fly 3 feet, hit a wall, and just slide
Yeah,
down.
exactly. Like,
I was like, you're still in the danger zone past 3 feet, just
Yeah.
at different heights.
I was at the store the other day, and I was just like they have like lines set up, and we were doing our part to like social distance. We just had to pick up a few things, so we were
Sure.
like standing in line. Like I gave the person in front of us plenty of room. The dude in front of us though was like right up against this lady, and she was really uncomfortable. And he was like, you could tell that he was one of those people that's just like, man, I don't
He has
care
no
if I
personal space.
does not give a shit.
There was somebody who was in line behind us today at Target. We went down to go get a board game to
Mhm.
keep staying indoors more.
Why did you get that board game? Craig and
It's a
got
great
one.
board game.
Craig got the same game too.
Craig got sequence?
The same game. They went out and they're like, we got bored, so we went out and got a board game. Got that one. Guess what? You guys went out and got that one.
For those people who don't know, sequence is a board game where it's like you have like 2 decks of cards and you try and like you have 7 cards in your hand, you try and place a token down on a card in your hand, and you discard it and you draw another one. You try and get 5 in a row. First team to get like a couple sets of 5 in a row wins. It is the most frustrating game on earth.
That is not true at all. How is it frustrating?
Because
Are you
don't-
bad?
You don't get the. It's not really bad. It's just a matter of what you draw. It's luck.
It is luck, but it's also
of luck.
strategy. It's just a lot of strategy.
The only strategic element to it is the use of. So if you get like a 1-eyed Joker, you can remove a token. If you get a 2-eyed Joker, you
Jack.
sorry, Jack, not Joker. My bad. I'll wear that 2-eyed J. If you get a 2-eyed Jack, you can place a token anywhere you want. You don't actually have to have the card that coincides with that spot. Other than that, what you have in your hand is complete chance. So
True.
that's what makes it luck.
Yeah.
Those things, the placement of those things, but you can use those to stop other people more than you can use them to help yourself most of the time. Although being fair, I did lose to my wife earlier, and it's because I burned all of my jacks in like the first like 6 turns.
Yep. Strategy.
Strategy.
It's all luck, except when you're you and
Except
you're
when
like,
you're losing.
you just wanted to use. You got those jacks. You're like, oh, I'm coming for you.
Gotta get that W. I got the first sequence, but then she got her 2 before I got my 2. It's kind of a bummer. So we broke in the game poorly because I lost on the first try.
Is that a brand new game?
Yeah, no.
How is it
it's-
shuffling those cards?
She did a terrible job shuffling. Vegas says you have to shuffle like 10 times to be like an efficiently shuffled, but I think that's only relative to how good you are at shuffling. I'm terrible at shuffling. I cannot get those things to mesh well.
You got little clunky hands.
What is that supposed to mean?
You got clunky hands.
I mean, they're not quite sausage fingers, but they're big hands, and
They're
those little
lineman
cards,
hands.
They are lineman hands. If my fingers were like an inch and a half longer, I would
Inch and a
definitely-
half, dude.
Or sorry, not inch and a half longer. Like
Oh
half.
my god.
Like it would look like a creepy like hands. If they were half an inch longer,
my-
I would be like draft eligible with this size hand.
If
People
they were
would
an
be
inch,
like, "Man."
if they were inch and a half longer,
That'd be Kawhi Leonard's hands.
yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has freak hands, man. It's insane. It's just,
Sitting here like, oh my.
all right, another thing I'm terrible at.
Yeah.
Distances. I am not like when people are like, "How far
horrible.
away is that?" I'm like, so earlier when he was like, "Oh, we're like 6 feet apart," and I'm like, "No, it's like 4 feet. This might be 6 feet. I don't actually know."
Yeah, it's
It's right in that range.
if I
but-
no, I think about it if I were to lay down like with my feet right here,
yeah.
I'm probably to where you are.
Yep. I think you'd be a little past it, but yeah, you're about right. You're
Yeah.
about right. But yeah, we went and bought the game earlier. We've been playing Phase 10, Farkle, but her family just
Farkle.
calls it dice. That's all they call it.
What?
Literally, yeah. They buy
Do you want to
packs
play
of
dice?
Yeah. Do you want to play dice?
No, I want to play Farkle.
Yeah, it's literally just rolling and
Zilch.
trying to get points to build up.
Mm.
But it's the exact same thing as Farkle. But then we've been playing a lot of Phase 10. I think we might go for Uno here soon. I don't know. But the problem is we're playing all these games with 2 people because we're staying away from everyone.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah. No. One
Tired
of my
of beating their ass at these games.
one of my friends came up and picked up his sequence game because he left it at my house, and literally right after they bought it, they brought it over to play with us.
Mm-hmm.
and then we didn't end up playing, and he left and forgot the game. So my girlfriend and I just ended up playing it.
There you go.
So but he came back to pick it up, and he was like, "Yeah, like what have you guys been doing?" And I was like, "Well, I only see 3 people now in my life,
Pretty much, yeah.
besides the people I live with. Like,
I don't see anybody anymore, man.
we've literally played basketball like 3
But,
of the
like,
last
other
2
than
days.
you. You know what I mean? Other
3
than,
times,
other than you and
2
your
times the
girl,
last 3 days. Man, ignore everything I just said. I just stuttered over all of my words.
other than you and Mia, and occasionally seeing Joey, and I never even see Emily. Even back when Corona wasn't a thing, I did not see my buddy Joey's wife, Emily. I never saw her. Like, I would be like, hey, Emily. She'd be like, hey, and then that would be the extent of our conversation for like a 2-month span. Like, it was just that. But I would see Joey like once every couple of weeks. Usually it was for a sneaker launch. Now there ain't no sneaker launches. So
Yeah.
it
What
happens like that.
What else you been doing you been watching anything?
Yeah, I've been trying to catch up on a bunch of shows. Ozark's got a new season coming out that you
Yeah, they do.
turned me on to Ozark a couple
Yeah, they
weeks
do.
ago. I binged the first 2 seasons. It's fantastic. But
5
three's
days.
coming out.
5 days. 5 days.
In 5 days, I'll be
Well,
busy for a day.
when this comes out, it'll be. By the way, we have officially. I think Tuesdays are going to be our day now because we use Mondays as like our editing day. But when this comes out, it'll be 3 days away. So
It'll be 3 days away. Yeah.
good for you guys.
Good for congratulations. You're a step closer than we are at this exact moment right
Exactly.
now.
We're proud.
But yeah, I watched that. I've been trying to watch as many other things. Both NFL Network and NBA both have their like
League game passes.
their league game passes or whatever the hell they're called. Yeah, they both have them on there. So we were watching some classic games of NBA games, and we watched some classic football games. Yesterday, I watched the Patriots. Their 28-3 comeback. Still pretty incredible, even to this day. As much as I do not like the Patriots, it was, man, credit where credit's due. I remember the first time I watched that, I thought they got helped so much by the refs, and now watching it a second time, a little more dispassionately, a little more casually, I'm like, no, not really. They just kind of balled out for 10 minutes.
The Patriots just
They did what they did, and then what? So what game? I was over at AJ's house.
we
and
watched the 92 or 91 or 92 game 1 of the finals versus the Bulls and the Trailblazers.
That's right. I think
and that
it was
was
92.
that was Jordan's 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98.
Yeah.
So it was 92.
That was wild.
That was me thinking out loud, by the way.
I remember we were watching it, and it was like 5 minutes of the game. And we're like, man, Jordan isn't doing shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hot of a take anymore to say that LeBron, like the one thing that I think LeBron has over Jordan is that like LeBron came into the league
Yeah.
when it was still physical.
Did he?
Bro, he got drafted in 03.
Was it really that physical though?
Okay, people weren't punching each other in the palace, but
See,
like,
I don't even think Jordan existed in that physical. I think when people talk about the physical era, they're talking about like the 70s, like when Bill Walton used to elbow
That
mofos
wasn't-
in the head.
yeah, but that's
like,
not
that-
physical. That's just people like not that the game hadn't. Well, the game wasn't a game.
But
back
they didn't.
then.
But they didn't call it, so it was something that you had to deal with, and that's what made it a physical game.
Regardless, I don't think if you go back and like one thing I've gotten from watching these games is LeBron could exist in today's game and in Jordan's game
Yes,
and be the best player.
and Jordan could exist in both as well.
I don't think Jordan's the best player in today's league though. Kevin Durant's a better player than Michael Jordan.
I think if Jordan had the resources, see, the thing was about Jordan was though I always thought was that Jordan was a superstar, right? LeBron's a superstar, and don't confuse that word. But what I mean is like when Jordan went out on the town, he was in suits and smoking cigars, and he was a presence, this huge presence. LeBron is a presence, mostly because of his sports thing, but off the court, he's a good guy. But he's not really a presence off the court. You know what I mean? He draws a crowd because he's a popular dude.
Well,
he's
I mean, he
he's very
does-
good. But like, Michael Jordan demanded attention, almost like a movie star.
Yeah,
something like that.
LeBron does a lot off the court, but he doesn't
A lot of good
necessarily. He doesn't like necessarily like host parties and.
He's not a big spotlight guy.
But
At least it seems.
It does. I'm just saying that like I really don't think that Michael Jordan is truly. Is he a top 5 player in the league? There's no doubt about that. I'm still saying he's gonna be really good. I just don't think he's the best because I still think LeBron's gonna be better than him, And I think the way that Michael wanted to play the game and head down, you can't play like that anymore. You have to. If we're comparing duos, let's say like, because in today's league you got like Steph Clay,
Yeah.
Bron AD, Kawhi PG, Dame CJ. You know, you have your pairs. If we're
Yeah.
taking what is it, Michael Scotty?
Yeah.
Let's keep them in the East
How long
because
were they together before they won their first title?
who? Michael and Scotty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, that's
Like, off the top of my head.
I'll try and find that out real quick. Keep going, though.
But what I'm saying though is that like if we put them and we obviously the Bulls are an East team,
Yeah.
like keep them in the East. I'm not putting them changing conferences or anything. Michael and Scotty, I don't even think make the finals right now in the East.
Sure. Okay. I don't agree. I'm not against it.
Wow.
I just,
So
I
you-
just
you
don't,
think-
I just don't
so
agree.
let's-
I think they could handle it because it's not just one people or two people.
I don't care about seeding. We're gonna just go off top teams because we know some of the teams, and with no NBA on, we can make up whatever we want.
Right.
So let's just say first and foremost, can a team? Because obviously, let's just make up like a playoff team.
Okay.
If your team's in the playoff, you're good. But you add Michael and Scotty. Do you think that team can beat Giannis and like who Middleton?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes. I think so because I think that
I'm not-
both Scotty and Jordan could cook Giannis. Giannis will cook back, but I think they could both do it, and then I think that both of them are also better than Middleton. So I think I think your talent from Giannis to Middleton is slightly bigger than it
Yeah.
is from Jordan to Scotty.
yeah, no, I'm
In their prime.
right now. I'm more interested in like that. I'm not gonna respond because I'm just saying that like I don't think they make the finals. But
That's tough to say.
if okay, so then
Being
if
fair, the Cavs team a couple years ago that made the finals, that was a terrible team, and they made the finals through the East, through some decent teams, through a Boston team that was decent, through a Toronto team that was decent.
all right, so
tough, man.
does Toronto
Does Toronto?
can Toronto get past Scotty and Michael?
Who else does Scotty and Michael have?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be like a playoff team. Like I mean, we
That's
can
the
build
hard part.
build them a team if you want. Like let's give them like.
Well, that's a lot.
I'm just saying like superstars v superstars. Like
I
if
completely agree. So 2v2, the
In-
best two players from Toronto versus Scotty in there. Yes, Scotty and Jordan can probably handle Siakam and Lowry.
what about Boston?
Scotty and Jordan can probably handle Tatum and Brown or
Tatum, Kemba.
Tatum and Kemba. Yeah, I think so. I think they can handle that. I think they're both big enough to play D on Kemba just fine. I don't think Kemba's crafty enough. Kemba's really good. I really like Kemba Walker. But I don't think
Well,
he's crafty
actually,
enough to
I would
play
rather compare it like a Tatum Brown because I think
defense.
Brown's
See, that match up better.
because Kemba's not Kemba.
But they're both young, real young.
because Scotty's gonna play a 3 and Michael will play a 2. And in today's league, Michael might even play a 3
Yeah,
and
he
Scotty could play a 4.
Yeah, Scotty was way bigger than I thought he was.
Oh, Scotty was a big dog.
I
Big guy.
thought he was like you just said. I thought he was like a 3 size, like that 6'5" to 6'7". Or 6 maybe 6'8". I didn't realize that he was like 6'8", 6'9".
Dude, yeah. So I personally, if looking at this through 3 games, I think they're 1 and 2. I think they beat Toronto in a series. I don't think they can beat Milwaukee because I think Giannis is just something that they wouldn't be able to handle, and I don't think Jordan's shooting is going to be enough to make up for maybe Scotty's lack of production on that end.
Yeah, but Scotty's defense will give him extra possessions. That's where it
Scotty's
comes into
defense
play.
will give him extra possessions, but I think that like Tatum and Brown are better on offense and defense as a duo than Scotty and Jordan would be in like today's league. But that
The
game,
problem is when we say the word today's league, you're implying a different set of rules, and unfortunately, we'll never know, right?
well, if we play back then, I think it's
even when you say then, you're still implying a different set of rules, and you have no clue if Jason Tatum even makes it to the league with his slender frame coming out of college or coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Does he even make it to the league in the 90s?
well, that
Maybe
does-
not.
Well, that does. I'm not talking about them getting drafted then and now. I'm saying
You're
like
talking about displacing them from this point to that point, and then from that point
I'm
to
not,
this point. Right?
no, I'm purely just talking about like prime. They're playing each other on like a normal basketball like.
Has Jason Tatum hit his prime? Is he in it, or is he going to hit it?
Okay,
I guess that's the question.
I guess like you take their best versions of themselves that we've seen.
Sure.
You know,
Michael Jordan's best version of himself is like a 60-point game.
yeah. You know,
Scottie Pippen's best version of himself is probably like a 35 and 20 with a couple steals in
Yeah.
there and maybe a few blocks.
it's just rough to say. I'm just
It's
saying
really
that like
hard,
I
yeah.
think LeBron can go
I agree with you. LeBron can go back.
I think LeBron can go toe to toe with Jordan's better generation better than Michael would be able to go toe to toe with LeBron's generation.
I just don't know, man. And it's not that I'm saying one's better than the other. I just don't know if it's
Michael
if
was
that's-
never
'cause
like
they're just so contrasted.
Michael was
Not actually.
never a shooter like that. A shooter.
Michael Jordan looked to score at the rim, and if he couldn't score at the rim, then he looked for a shot. And if he couldn't get a shot, then he looked to pass the ball. Today, guys are looking to shoot even when the rim is open.
Yeah, but
Like
what,
and that's what the problem is. That's why Steph Curry takes 23s in a game. Yeah, he makes 9 of them, and he's got 27 points on 3-pointers, and that looks great. But
Yeah.
you also missed 11 threes. You
That's
gave
true.
11 possessions to the other team. Jordan was a lot more efficient than that. Not always. He had his games, and in that game that we watched, he missed his first like 4 shots or 4 or 5 shots. He was doing nothing for 5 minutes, and then he turned it.
I mean,
on.
there's games that obviously that LeBron does that. I'm personally just like
Absolutely.
it was just really interesting because I've never actually I've seen every Jordan highlight
Lots
there
of highlights,
is.
yeah.
I've seen every Shaq, Barkley. Like I remember, like I've watched all of those. However, I've never actually sat down and watched a game.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Jordan impacts the entire game, and it's wild. But
Everywhere he goes,
when
yeah.
I watch him play, it's just like it's just different. Everything is so different. I also hate watching that low quality. We get so used to this high quality, and I'm like, I can't even read the number.
Yeah. It's weird because I always felt like
We had to look up online to see what shoe Jordan was wearing. Do you remember that? Because we
yeah,
couldn't
Jordan
see it on the
we, we
TV.
couldn't tell by the quality. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, what shoe is he
It
wearing?
was like we knew about the time frame. We knew it
We
was
tried to
like
do the
6 or
math.
7, but
Yeah.
like we couldn't quite tell. Yeah, I also think that during that time frame you had some issues with like, there are like Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson was a superstar before he even got to play meaningful basketball, college basketball. And then before he even got to the NBA, he was a superstar. He played half a minute in the summer league and was a superstar. Like he was huge before he ever really did anything.
Yeah.
Guys can do that now. And the spotlight is on you. The fame is on you early. He has it. Zion has a shoe deal in his first year. Jordan got a shoe deal fast, but he was mostly just kind of working within the confines. And he was with a company that was didn't have anything, was trying to become something. It's just interesting. I feel like
It's hard to compare that aspect of the game though to today because there's so much more money.
and there's so much more technology. Because there's
Technology,
money
and so
both
that's
vice
why
versa.
I'm more focused on like you say like superstar out on the town cigars. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if back then if LeBron was in the league, that would be a more accurate statement of what he was doing, just because
Absolutely.
of the culture around the league.
Absolutely, because he wouldn't have gotten as many magazine covers in high school. He wouldn't have gotten
So
media
that's why
left and right all
that's
day.
why lifestyle. I try not to add into just pure like,
There were a lot of games back then that weren't even televised.
which is crazy.
Is there a single LeBron game in the last 4 years that isn't televised in one way or another? Like Michael Jordan
Well,
probably
no,
played
because of League Pass.
because
but-
of League Pass, right? So you always get a highlight from him. There were times when Jordan would do really well, like in maybe it wasn't a great game. Maybe he was playing some nobody cares team. Maybe he was playing the Bobcats or something like that, and he absolutely railed them and scored 40 with 0 cameras in the arena. Like, that's tough. But nowadays, that's never going to happen. You will always see LeBron's best jam. You will always see LeBron's best game. And now be damned if you don't see it on your SportsCenter Twitter, on ESPN's Twitter, on NBA and TNT's Twitter, on CBS's
yeah.
Twitter. You're going to see it 70 times. There were times so that's what I mean. It's like you can be great now without doing anything other than playing the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, if you wanted to be well known, you had to do more than just play the sport.
Yep.
Because people outside of Chicago, in 1990, people outside of Chicago really didn't have that much of a clue who Jordan was.
That's true.
But don't get me wrong, by 95, they knew.
Yeah, well,
By 95, they were well aware. By 92, they were talking about him like a legend already, because he'd already been in the league for 7 years.
by 92, people in Portland also knew who Jordan was.
People in Portland knew who Jordan was right away.
Yeah.
They all cussed themselves out for that. We missed on so many great
We
players.
don't. Yeah, we.
We don't have to get into that.
We really don't need to get into that.
But Jordan's impact on the shoe game was huge.
Huge.
And it transitions to people now. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about wearing unique shoes on the court? Like when Swaggy P wore Yeezy 750s to ball in a couple years ago.
That's too much.
You think it's too much?
It's too much. Why? I think it's cool when like PJ Tucker will come out in like some like Converse or something. Like it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of a funny like throwback, or like he'll come out in some black shoes. But it's like when you are purposefully wearing a shoe really not designed to do any of that, like what you're like that's pretty much saying I suck at this game, so I don't care what I wear.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Which is kind of what Swaggy P was. Like he was on a Lakers team that was trash when he wore those.
Yeah.
And he came out and everyone was like, whoa, why is he wearing it? And he pretty much was like, our team sucks. I suck. What is it doing? And I make millions of dollars.
Sure.
Like, it's also another one of those things where you go to ask them and it's like, you know, they have a lot of money. They're like, I can afford it. If I get hurt,
might as well, right?
Might as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like PJ Tucker's shoe game. I'm a fan that I'm not a fan of him wearing things that aren't like important.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like the fact that he wears like, let me rephrase that. I don't like the fact that he's wearing Oregon shoes playing for a red team.
Oh,
he's wearing green and yellow shoes. He's playing for a red team. I literally watched him one game wear a pair of purple and gold shoes while playing the Lakers. He didn't even play for the Lakers. Like, what do you like this whole thing with the league allowing players to wear whatever they want? I think it's neat, but I think some guys are just a little off the rails with it. But I do like PJ's sneaker collection. Like, you see, he's gonna wear Air Mags.
Well, do you see he's opening up a shoe store?
I did not. Where's that at?
So he's going to open up a shoe store in Houston.
Okay.
Like in the fall.
Is he selling his shoes?
From what I see, it's like a boutique.
Okay.
So like he announced that he said, quote, "We're looking to do a grand opening in October. We've got a lot of dope collabs coming. We're going to have some fun with it, and I'm excited about it."
Okay.
So, end quote, and that's he also said the shoe culture in Houston is cool. There's a lot of sneakerheads and a lot of people that love shoes here. So I think it's just gonna be like a boutique, but
that's kind of neat.
He said it like part of it. He said it was like his dream to open a shoe store, and like as we've been talking about, he's known for his shoes.
Oh yeah,
his shoe collection. So I think that's really cool. I mean,
I think that'd be neat. I mean, we got a couple of shoe stores here in Portland, but really only one major one for like actually picking up in sneakers, such as Index PDX. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, they're really cool people. But that's really the only store that we have.
Yeah, no, and
that's like boutique related. Like,
and
that.
I think this is just gonna be like known for his love of shoes. Like it's just gonna be like something people can also share that with him.
Yeah,
in Houston, and then come in and maybe get their hands on a pair of shoes that are maybe a little bit harder to get their hands on.
I wonder if he's gonna sell his shoes. Like if he has extra pairs that he's gonna like bounce
like
off.
that he's worn in games.
Maybe that, but also like maybe this guy I've heard has a sneaker collection that is tens of thousands of shoes deep. Like he's not wearing them all. I wonder if there's any shoes he's gonna let go.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because let's be real, this guy hasn't been the best NBA player. He spent the first.
Hey, you watch your mouth. No, I'm kidding.
Don't you talk that way about Mr. Tucker. Yeah, he spent the majority of his career early playing overseas.
Yep.
He's never won. He's never been like nominated for any sort of like defensive or offensive or all team award for the NBA. He's never done anything. He was a champion overseas. And
he's kind of small too.
And an Israeli Super League champion back in 2008.
He's kind of small too.
Yeah, he was great in college. I mean, when he was in the Big 12, he did really well. But I don't know. I feel like so. All right. So with PJ Tucker wearing crazy sneakers, here's a question for you: how do you feel about like the cleats in the NBA or in the NFL? Like, how do you feel
I
about
love
them?
that.
You like that? You like
yeah.
the custom stuff?
Because like I love that it's still a cleat.
Yeah.
But they're wild. Like when I think of it, I think of like Stephon Diggs. He'll throw on like memes on his cleats. Like
he does some funny stuff.
I love Michael Thomas's cleats. Michael Thomas always comes out like I think he had like an all gold pair for the Saints at one point.
Really? Was it like a Nike or a Madden 99 overall thing? Because I know they give out gold pairs. For those.
I don't know if it was that. Michael Thomas is just crazy with his cleats. I mean, a lot of players do it. Russell Wilson even does some stuff with his cleats, and they even do like that week where they was it like My Cleats or something?
Yeah.
And they all like a lot of NFL players will customize their cleats and then donate them after the game for like a charity of their choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really cool. I think the one thing that like I've loved is how the NBA and NFL are kind of like, why do we care?
Yeah.
Like it's a part of the uniform that actually doesn't matter. And I think the only thing that I've never been a fan of in games is something that actually is contradictory to what I like visualize is chrome. Anything
Yeah.
chrome. I love the look when the Ducks wear those chrome helmets. They wore them in the I almost said the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
When they wore them in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
That looked really slick. And then sometimes players like Marshawn and other Nike will make cleats with metallic on the bottoms. I don't like that because what is the possibility of it just like blinding somebody?
Oh, absolutely high. It's an equal thing though. They could do it too.
They could do it too, but I'm just saying like I just think like it shouldn't be allowed in general because it's like you're only doing it for aesthetic.
It's funny because I had a conversation with their equipment manager where I talked to him about that. The Kenny Farr, the equipment manager down at U of O, I talked to him about the chrome domes that they wore back in 2000 and I think it was 12 when they played Wisconsin. They actually wore them last year too, again playing Wisconsin. But I talked to him about it, and he said that they actually had to test them on the field. Like the officials would come out and you'd stand in the spot and you'd put the helmet on and they'd walk around you to see if the light would come down on you. But because of the contour of the helmet, it goes straight down or it comes back off. It doesn't actually go into the eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they actually double checked it a bunch. He said that they worked on those helmets. Those helmets were ready to go. The design was about 9 months beforehand, and they were working through the NCAA for almost 6 months. They wanted to wear them in the regular season, but they weren't approved in time until the
Well, I mean, I guess I don't care as long as it's approved. Like
I can still see what you're saying though.
Like it's just like it's one of those things where it's like why does the NFL, NBA, so on and so forth have to have their hands on everything that the players do? It's like
they try
to a certain extent these are still guys playing a sport. Like let them swag themselves out. Like I'm one of those players that's like I'll wear like an unnecessary like shooting sleeve or a headband, but it's just something that like I love to do when I play. Like it just makes me like I won't wear it when I just shoot around outside, but like if I play in any sort of game, like I'll wear a shooting sleeve. Like I don't care, but it's just something to do. Like and these guys are at the top level. Like let them express themselves a little bit. Like who cares? The one thing that I thought was really funny that the NFL that players try to get away with was when they did those custom face masks and people were getting their fingers like broken and like
mask?
Like I was like, yeah, maybe we should get rid of those.
Yeah,
because people like Terrell Suggs were coming out with ones that were ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they were like, he had like,
get your pinky caught in there.
Maybe it wasn't him, but I remember somebody was like known that year for like he had like 7 different ones.
Oh, yeah, change them around a lot.
And I was like, what? Why? Like it was ridiculous. But
they're also doing it with the other thing the NFL has their hands on right now is visors. Like you can only wear certain levels of tint and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big of a deal. I mean, my thing is I want a brand of consistency across all of them. In high school, you can't have tinted visors. In college, you can't have tinted visors. At least in the high schools that I've been around, you can't have tinted visors. In college, you can't have tinted visors. You don't really need them in the NFL. I mean, sure. I mean, if somebody wants to wear a smoked visor, fine. But the thing is that they actually haven't been able to prove the ones that are chromed, like the big colorful ones. They haven't been able to approve those because of the blinding thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because when a defensive player is standing right there, it can come right down into alignment. I don't know how factual that is, but that's what I've been told by a couple people. But we were talking about the customs. There's a guy I follow on Instagram, and I'll tag him below. His company is called Left Coast Laced. He does custom shoes for teams. Like he did a couple for the Defenders, the XFL team. He did. Let's see. He's done them for Jordan Poyer a couple times from Oregon State. Cool. Yeah, he does like a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, Left Coast Laced. I think the dude's name is Mike Sturge. But I remember he does some really cool, some really wild stuff. So. But yeah, no, I like letting the players express themselves, and I especially like when they let them do it for charities.
Yeah, no, and that's the really cool thing, and ultimately, especially like during this time, like of like not doing anything, it's weird to like look at a sport from like an even playing field and trying to convince me that we need to tell players exactly what they need to wear because it's like ultimately if they're wearing everything that they need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
If they want to wear something else, who gives a flying fuck.
The only time that matters is when it's gonna hurt other people.
Well, that's what. No, if it's approved.
Like when Odell was trying to wear the watches.
Oh, the yeah.
Whatever. Why he was fucking trying to wear watches?
Yeah,
Because the last thing we need is Odell having another distraction, like trying to figure out what fucking time it is while he's on the field.
Exactly. So like, as long as it's like approved gear, if a player can wear it, then let him wear
Who cares? Yeah,
If
I'm on board with that. I like
it. But if we're talking about fashion and everything, I think we should introduce our new segment.
that. Ooh, what's our new segment, bud?
What's hot, what's not to Parker.
To me.
To Parker.
So that means that you're gonna ask me.
Yep, I'm gonna kind of start in a little easy here. Start with maybe some things that I know you like.
Okay.
I don't have a huge list here, but I know I'll think of more as we talk.
Sure. Bring it
All
on.
right, so I'd like to let everyone know that some of these things on here are my favorite things, and I know Parker also likes them. But then I also know there's some things on here that he does not like. But the thing for this is just kind of, let's just see what pokes Parker's buttons.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll start off first. Is the Jordan 1 hot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it hot?
It's the best looking silhouette of. It's the most shoe that you can think of when you think of a
shoe.
You know what I mean?
A
It's like
shoe.
It's like when you think of a hamburger, an image pops in your head of like the right amount of lettuce or a tomato
and a patty.
It's a shoe. When you think of a shoe, for
Sesame
me,
bun.
Yeah, sesame bun. Yeah, you don't think of a plain bun when you think of a
No,
hamburger.
it's got to be a sesame
somebody's
bun.
like, hey,
a poofy bun too.
Right. When somebody says, think of a shoe, I'm like, Jordan 1. Just immediately pops in my head. It is
What colorway? The bread toe.
Bread or bread toe immediately pops in, even though I own neither because I like the pine green toes the best.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, just so all our listeners know, we are working on a design right now that will feature the bread toe. So that's kind of why I also started that off. But so hot for the Jordan 1.
Hot for the Jordan.
All
Absolutely.
right, we got it as hot.
I don't think that's a hot take either. I think I think everyone agrees.
All right. Now, I'd also like to let people know this is not just going to be shoes. This is going to be random shit in here. So kicking it off second, fruity candles.
Ooh.
Are fruity candles hot? And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lemon is not a fruity candle.
Lemon is not a fruity candle. No, that's a very powerful smell. Lemon is the best scent though for a dishwashing hand. So,
are fruity candles hot?
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, man, I love a good like strawberry vanilla candle or something like that. I mean, it's the kind of thing where you can easily overload your senses on it and be like, this is too much sweet.
Okay, so
but I like them.
So on the flip side, though, I'll throw in another question. I guess we'd have to break down the different categories of candle. Like
there's floral.
Well,
there's
no.
fruit.
I really think that there's like you got like clean. Like think about there's
like
always
clean linen.
Like the linen scents, the vanillas, the lemons.
You would refer to vanilla as clean?
Clean. Oh, for sure, because it's so neutral.
Oh, that's interesting.
Vanilla.
That's
like
fair.
lemon, like those. You got those. And then you gotta have the manly sense.
Ooh, where does like the rain, like rainforest rain, where does that fall in? Is that clean?
You need to slow down. We need to slow down.
Getting way too far ahead on
Just
the candle.
when you smell it, all right. But I probably something like that. Like, well, there's the clean, there's the manly, there's the fruity, and then you could even throw in like there's like an other where it's kind of like neutral, sweet, like there's just other categories.
Yeah.
But I'm mainly like a fruity candle. So what I'm saying is my flip question: do you not like manly candles as much, or do we not like clean candles? Are they not as hot?
When I think of manly candles, I think of like scents that are called like bourbon or campfire. I don't like those ones.
The ones that when you smell it, it smells like someone like sprayed cologne in the room.
Yeah, I hate that.
You hate that?
I'm so off of it.
I like those in bathrooms.
I don't even really like wearing cologne on me.
But not like it doesn't smell like a 7th grader's like locker room.
It doesn't smell like Axe body spray.
Yeah, it's more of like that like hidden cologne scents, like
I know
teakwood.
I know what you mean. We've had a couple of those candles floating around my house before. Just not a fan of that sort of smell.
That was the question.
I like the sweet ones though. I'm a fan of fruity candles.
All right, so we got hot.
You got hot.
All right, so what about Yeezys? Are Yeezys hot to Parker?
They were.
They were
once upon a time, man. The problem is, like, I'm very picky about my colorways. There have been a couple. The original run had fire colorways. The Turtle Doves, fire. The Pirate Blacks, fire. The Moon Rocks, fire. That first run of 350s were beautiful, and that first run of 750s were beautiful as well. The only run of 750s were beautiful as well. Then they got into the V2s, and originally the V2 was cool because they released that pack that were black, but one had a green stripe, one had a red stripe, one had a white stripe. Those were dope. That was a dope looking pack. It was kind of cool. Then they just started doing shit that you can't wear anything with, and it lost me. Like the Yeezy Real colorway, like my feet should not look like glow in the dark like balloons. Like it's bizarre looking. I'm not on board with that.
Yes.
The Cinders that came out, right? Real close to being a fire colorway.
Yeah.
Until they put a fat yellow label, like the little pad on the bottom underneath the heel is yellow.
Bro, it's fashion.
It's stupid. I like some of it, but I'll give that a justification. They were.
So I'm gonna say not then, because it's more, if it's hot, if it's not hot, it's not hot anymore.
Yeah.
At least to you.
It's not hot.
All right. Bobbleheads.
Oh shit. Bobbleheads. I was not ready for that. I mean, if you have like a game room, or you have a room where you have like a where you got people have man caves and shit like that. Yeah, throw up some bobbleheads. Put a little King Griffey bobblehead or a Trailblazer bobblehead or something like that up there. Yeah, bobbleheads. I'm on board with it. However, just sitting around your normal house, I have one. And it's an Oregon Duck bobblehead, and it was a Christmas gift, and I always think it looks out of place. I'm always like, man, that needs to go back.
Wait, so is it hot or is it not hot?
Again, justified. Kind of not. Kind of not. I would say, as a general rule, no.
No. Okay. Not hot. All right. What about on my list here? I got skate low for the Vans, but just Vans in general. Are you with? Are Vans hot right now? To Parker. Parker dresses like a dad, so I'm gonna have to say yes.
Yeah. Vans are hot, man. They're always hot. They're classics, man. I got on Janoski's right now, which is essentially Nike's Van. Like, yeah, I'm on board with that.
What about bucket hats?
I feel like the only people who wear bucket hats anymore are people who fish and NFL players during fall camp.
And the Pro Bowl.
And the Pro Bowl. That's it. I've never seen an NFL player wear a bucket hat out in public. Only the Pro Bowl or their camp.
So I thought of this question because I thought about wearing my bucket hat today.
Do you really?
I'm glad I didn't wear it.
That. I'd say no, not hot.
Not hot on the bucket hat? All right. Well, I am. The bucket hats are still hot, everybody. Don't worry if you have one. Parker's just off the train. All right. What about slides?
Oh, yeah.
Slides are hot?
I mean,
slides are hot.
Slides are hot because they're helpful. They're functional. They work for you when you don't want to slap on regular shoes, when you take out the dogs, throw out the trash, whatever it is. It's the same thing like house shoes, man. They're super functional. Are they a fashion statement? No.
Not a fashion.
But they're hot because they have value, lots of value.
But like,
so when you're asking me if it's hot, I'm thinking like,
Parker's classification
is
hot.
It important to me? And it's like, yeah, slides are important to me. But if you're asking me, is it hot fashion-wise? No.
House is burning down. You have 3 things you're grabbing right now.
Not grabbing the slides.
What do you... Oh, not grabbing the
slides are out. That
was more of a question.
Despite the ease of getting them on, I am not grabbing the slides.
Are you... Okay, what are you grabbing? 3 things. People and pets don't count.
Oh, I was just about to say wife, dog. Let's see here.
Wife, dog.
Wife, dog. Scoop them up. Let's go, people. I think the 3 things that I'm grabbing that are, so let's say I'm ignoring like the passports and things like that. Just three things I want. I'm grabbing my guitar to my right. Actually, I'm probably going to grab both my guitar and my bass. I'm probably going to grab my Pine Green ones. Those are probably the 3 things that I use all the time. I really, especially, but I might not grab the guitar. I'll grab the bass though. The bass is coming with me. That's my baby. But the Pine Green.
I'm upset by your entirety of that answer.
What?
You grabbed you're gonna get out there. You're gonna be that guy. Like people are grabbing TVs, like valuables. You're gonna be out there holding 2 guitars and a pair of shoes, and be like, "Yeah, baby,
these mean something to me, man. They're important to me." I'm assuming I can replace most of this stuff, but
that is true. You can, but you can also replace some guitars.
That's why I said I might not take the one guitar, but I definitely take the bass. The bass I can't replace. That they don't make those anymore. They haven't made it since the early thousands. That's coming with me.
That's fair.
But in the Pine Greens, I can get another pair of Pine Greens, but I want to pay $300 for them. Probably not. But, you know, like I can get them. Like I just think about things like, what am I going to wear? Doesn't mean a lot to me.
All right. Now,
I'm ready.
chains
Chains.
that we
Oh.
wear, not bike chains,
Man, there's a couple ways to do
not
that.
tire chains.
I'll say yes.
Ooh,
I'll
chains
say
are hot.
hot. People really screw that up sometimes though. People wear some interesting chain situations. Was it? Didn't they just show like Kyler Murray had a Bruce Lee chain?
Oh, yeah.
Ugly as hell.
Yeah.
That I would say that's not hot.
Well, I wouldn't say it was ugly.
I would say it's ugly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go full take on that. Ugly. However, I like a lot of the things people wear. Back in the '90s, though, people wore some ridiculous chains. Back in the early 2000s, people wore ridiculous chains. People have chilled out. They wear more stylish stuff now.
Okay.
So hot.
So more of a functionality, maybe back on our trail here of shoes.
Sure.
The James Hardens. What do you think of them?
James Harden's shoes?
Are they hot or not?
Yeah, they're hot. They're hot. They're not like overly nuts one way or the other. Like
Okay.
like compared to Donovan Mitchell's Adidas shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those are some funky looking sneakers. James Harden's are at least a little more normal.
They're
looking.
like so bulky though.
I mean, Adidas does a lot of bulk in their shoes. Like even the Dames are bulky. The Donovans are actually probably one of the least bulky shoes, but they're all super functional and they all work really well. The light strike I think is what's in the Hardens. It's great stuff. So
All right.
hot.
What about WWE?
Man, it's making a weird like kind of comeback.
Unfortunately, you're right.
It's I remember in the late 90s and in 2000. So I was living in Germany in the late 90s, and my dad was in the military, and we used to get wrestling events on our TV, which by the way had
Wait,
one.
really?
We had one channel. It was the AFES network, the Armed Forces Network, or the AFN, Armed Forces Network, and it had one channel. So we only got to see like one football game a day. One basketball game a day, like, and it was so we would never get the crap we wanted to see. We saw
Yeah.
USC and Notre Dame like crazy around that time.
That sucks.
Yeah, they had the contracts, man. That's the way it is. But we saw wrestling, and then when I moved back to the state side, we moved to Tennessee, and wrestling was huge in the early thousands. Man, it was big. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, all those guys were still really hot and really big. You know, it was right after it became WWE because it was WWF, and then it merged with whoever it was and became WWE.
Worldwide Wrestling.
Something. Wait, that's Worldwide Wrestling Federation. That's WWF.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of what that was.
Yeah.
Now it's
World Wrestling Entertainment or something like that.
wrestling.
Something like. But it's hot now.
Yeah,
again.
it's hot.
It's hot now again. And you know, you see The Rock's daughters. You gonna be a wrestler?
Yeah, I did see that.
I think that's kind of cool.
I don't.
I mean, his wife was. I mean, sorry, not his wife. His dad was a wrestler. He was a wrestler, and now his
Well,
daughter's
it
like,
has
I'm gonna
no.
do it
I
too.
just like wrestling isn't cool.
So back in
It has nothing to do with anything of that family is or who she is. It's not
you have
cool.
no problem with that. Back in the day, that was 100% a thing. Was like, is wrestling cool? And you're either a hard yes or you were a hard.
Oh,
no.
I definitely got an argument with my sister at one point, trying to tell her that it was real. That was me at one point. Now looking back, and I was like, why did I spend 3 hours of my Monday watching men like act?
I swear I was like 8 years old, and my brother, who's 3 years older than me, is watching wrestling, and I'm like, this is fake. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh yeah.
What are we messing around with? I was not on board with it.
So not hot or not hot.
It's hot right now, but I mean, personally, it's not hot.
Honestly, I wrote down weird comeback as your answer.
This guy answered strangely.
Weird comeback.
I mean, it's hot. It's in right now. People like it. People are talking about it.
All right.
And also, what's his name's got his hands on the XFL now, so that's cool.
Seltzer water.
Oh, you don't like the spiked shit?
Oh, that where your mind goes.
That's the first place
this
when
guy,
you said
Jesus.
seltzer water, even though seltzer water's been around for 70 years, my mind immediately goes, you mean White Claw?
You mean Truly's, bro? Natty Seltzer?
Oh my gosh, I still haven't had it yet. I need to try
It's
it.
good. I swear on it.
Is
it's good.
it?
Oh, yeah.
I need to try the Bud Light seltzer.
Sponsor our
too.
show.
Sponsor our show. Bud Light, Natty, anybody, Truly, White Claw.
Hey.
Come on board. We'll give you all equal airtime. I'm coming after the alcohol ads
Corona.
hard. Corona. Yeah, I know you guys are not doing great right now.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm not going to give this the name of this restaurant away, but my brother works at this one place,
Yeah.
and they were having this. It's a restaurant,
Yeah.
and Parker, his wife, and my girlfriend, we all went and got food there yesterday because they were doing like a little cookout for pickups.
Yeah.
And my brother told us that apparently the owner of this establishment wanted to do a Corona special.
Oh, he said it was planned to be done, and then all this happened.
Exactly. There was planned to
Well-
do a Corona special, and they had to nix it because might not look too good on the press side.
I told him that he would get people hard one way or the other after it. Like people. Would
Oh,
come and be
yeah,
like,
some
"This
people
is
would be like-
disrespectful," and other people would be like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah, some people come and be like, I need my Corona to protect me from my
Is
Corona.
that what those people sound like?
Yes. It's that part of town, they sound exactly like that.
Are you telling me they came from Camas?
They did come from
They did
Camas.
come from For those who don't know, Portland Metro, Portland's centered here, and then to the south of us, you have like Tigard and Beaverton, and they're all just suburbs of Portland. But then you hit this weird blank space, which is where like Camas is, which is farmland.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where you leave liberal Portland and get into conservative Oregon.
Oh.
Pretty much outside of Portland.
Yeah, I hate
is
to tell you, bro.
split.
Camas is in Washington.
Oh, no, wait. Where am I thinking of? What's the place down?
McMinnville?
No, the other way.
Other way.
Canby. Not Camas, Canby.
Yeah, okay, people, his description is right about Camas.
My description is right about Canby. The Canby, Camas, these damn places.
I was like, what? Okay,
Yeah, I knew what I was
sure.
saying. I just didn't know how to say it.
All right, now, next hot or not. Portland.
Oh gosh, not hot. Let me give it to you, son.
Okay.
All right. So Portland is, again, for people who don't know, Portland is
Sorry, what?
situated on a river. We're about an hour from Mount Hood, and we're about an hour and a half from the beach. And you can go up to Canada in like 6 hours or 7 hours. You can get south into California in about 9 hours and into the mountains down there. Portland is terrible. Portland is expensive.
True.
There are not enough jobs for the volume of people that there are here. It's just not a great place. And not to mention, it's just littered with homeless people. And right now, with this whole virus, people are staying inside. I live right across the street from Portland State's campus. There are homeless people just flooding onto our campus right now because there's nobody around to like kick them off.
Yeah.
Like people aren't going to call the cops on them now, so they're just like flooding around. Our whole neighborhood looks like trash. There's trash everywhere now.
Yeah, don't come here.
Yeah, don't come here. And I'm not just
Listen
saying
to the
that.
show. We're the best part of Portland. Just listen to us.
I'm not saying that like for years people have been saying don't come to Portland because they don't want to get any busier. No, it really sucks now. Like, and it has nothing to do with the volume of people. Sometimes it's just the quality of the city is not great. It's got some cool stuff, but the coolest stuff about Portland isn't in Portland. It's away from Portland. So
Yeah. All right, let's see.
we got time for one more.
We got time for one
more
more
hot or
here.
not.
All right, let's end it with let's see. I'm trying to think of a good shoe one to end it on. Oh,
Ooh.
I got it. The Adapt shoe. Is that hot? Or
Hot.
not? It's hot.
It's hot.
See, no,
it's
it-
expensive
no,
as
no.
hell.
That's why it's not hot. You're
That's
not
what kills
selling me
it.
on a shoe that's $800.
They're not $800 anymore, man. It was just the one.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're like $350 now. That's still expensive for a shoe, but
I'm not paying $350 for like.
But they ain't meant for you.
Who are they meant for?
They're meant for people who are trying to flex on people. That's all.
When
they're
I
meant
was in
for.
New York
They're not
at the
practical.
Soho store,
Yeah.
I was I went upstairs because I wanted to see the court. Court was cool. It was kind of smaller than I actually expected it to be. Still cool though. And there was like this 11-year-old, 12-year-old like shooting on the like trying on shoes to.
Yeah.
And they were those shoes.
He was trying on like the BBs or
Yeah,
whatever.
and I was like, what? It was ridiculous. But
Yeah, they're hot. They're cool shoes. They're really neat. I think it's a great progression for the way Nike's going. I think it's cool. And I think people like them and want them. I don't think they're for everybody. They're also not super heavy on numbers either. They're not making 100,000 pairs of these shoes. They're making like 15,000. They're not calling them limited, but they are pretty limited. So I'm not stressing the price because I'm not trying to buy them. Send somebody who does want to buy them. They're not sweating the price because they want them more than they care about how much they cost.
Yeah, and the only reason why I don't think they're hot though is because I feel like the only people that are really gonna truly appreciate what they are people that know about them. It's not like a shoe that a lot of times when I tell people like, "Oh, have you seen the new Nike Adapt basketball shoe or something?" They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like they don't even know that I've talked to people recently that don't know that Nike has made a self-lacing shoe.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't
They
like,
don't even
super on board with all that
So
stuff.
it's like that's why I don't think they're hot because I'm like, why would I spend this much money on a shoe that I don't even think looks all that cool and it doesn't even like do that much for me.
I like that they're doing a lot with it though. Like they did the Hirachi ones.
Oh, yeah.
A little while ago they did the Presto style ones or whatever it was. They've done 2 volumes of the BBs. They have a new Air Max one coming out here soon. But yeah, they're expensive. But again, it's like the Dior Jordans. Like you're targeting kind of a specific consumer who
Oh, for
wants
sure.
who wants to flaunt and wants
Oh,
to
yeah.
flex. It isn't for your average Joe. Good news is though, we live close to the employee store. If we get lucky, sometimes that crap rolls through at a pretty good price.
Premium price.
Premium price. Because for $350, that's high. $175. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking about that.
I'm thinking about it. That's
I'll
a little
flip
bit of a
those.
deal. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that wraps up Hot or Not, man. Dude, that was good. I like that.
You like that one?
I like that segment.
I tried to ease it up with some questions. I feel like next time I'll get weirder.
I was not expecting fruity candles and bobbleheads. You need to every time. Let's make it every time. Do something like that, man. I like it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, folks, it's been really fun working with you all. Week 2 is in the books.
We're officially in that part of the season now where we can't have any excuses. We're 2 weeks in
Yeah.
now. After this, we got to
We gotta bone up and
Playoff
do it
push,
right.
yeah.
Playoff push. Yeah, trying to get more people involved. Yeah, everyone go check us out on YouTube. Just search for the Sneak Show. We'll be right there. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you're already there. Hit like, hit subscribe, do all that work. We're now actually available on Apple Podcasts. So just search the Sneak Show on there. You'll find us a little white background, black and white logo. Very simple. You'll find us right on there.
new logo coming.
New logo. We're working on them.
Which will be posted on our social media, which
That's
is
right.
still in the works.
One of them is. I have the Twitter right here. Follow us at Sneak Show Pod. Yeah, and you can find us right there.
And we'll tweet the logo out. You'll see it as our
Absolutely.
profile picture on there. We'll get the Instagram up soon. We're
Very
still trying
soon,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
some content to be able to put up on it first.
Yeah, considering we're audio based right now, Instagram being visual is kind of
A little bit
awkward deal.
rough. But then we also are going to work on trying to get a Facebook page up.
Yeah, here very soon. And also, we're going to try and get on camera here soon. Tell me what you guys think about that. Put comments in here or send a message to us. sneaksandsports@gmail.com. Pretty easy to get a hold of us. I'll put all of these things down below so you guys can get in touch with us over the long run.
Yep. And if you would show your friends and family this show,
Yeah, couldn't hurt nothing. We appreciate it, folks.
wash your damn hands.
Wash your damn hands.